And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, April the 4th, 2020, Season 14, Episode 10. I am Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And we are here for what may be the last time for a little while. It's almost definitely the last time that the two of us will be together here. And then it's up to me whether or not I'm going to do a show or not. By myself after this weekend. So for a little while anyway. At least for the month. That's kind of what's on the table at the moment. First off, let me get this out of the way real quick. I don't even have to move that music down. I just have to do this. So we're with the whole situation that's going on everywhere, all over the world. We were talking about it last week, or not last week, week before last. We were talking about it the week before that. At least giving you an update on how it's how it's affecting the industry, but also how it's kind of affecting us here locally as well. And tonight, in fact, beginning in an hour, the stay-at-home order will be in effect for the entire state of where we broadcast, which is Alabama. There's been debate on this station. There's been debate online as to the severity of enforcement of this, as to how it can be enforced, as to how most likely RJ and Matt and Nate, all of them would be fine coming here on Saturday to do a show, driving here to get here by 4, leaving here at 6 and going home, that there would likely be no problem with that. They would probably never have an issue whatsoever. But they could. And they don't have, I have 2 pieces of credentials, I guess. That makes it sound a whole lot more important than what it is. I have a lanyard with a whatever. It's got my picture on it, and then on the back of it, it explains the reason I am essential and what I have to do with media and everything else.
Yeah, picture, workplace, job title, all that
right.
stuff. Yeah.
I have a piece of paper that stays in my car in the event I am pulled over because I am violating the curfew, which I violate the curfew every single day I drive in to work in the morning, because the curfew does not lift until, I think, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., something like that. I can't remember. It lifts sometime in the morning every day. It goes into effect, I think, at 5 p.m. or 10 p.m. I can't remember. It doesn't necessarily...
10 to 6, I think.
Yeah, 10 to 6. I think you're right. So, yeah, I have a piece of paper that explains why I'm essential, and it's all kind of official and everything else. It's all, I'd say kind of. It is official and everything else. Anyway, the thing that it does is it lets any type of authority know that, yes, I am allowed to be out right now. I am headed into work, most likely. I really don't go anywhere else. I go to work. I come home. If I do need to go to the store, luckily, I actually dipped in and did a pretty good run last Sunday.
Good job.
Wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it turned the way it turned. But, yeah.
Lucky you went when you did. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I can't ask Matt. I can't ask Nate. I can't ask RJ. I can't ask Sarah. I can't ask anybody to come out here, and do this show if they don't feel like doing it. I never could before, to be honest with you. They're not getting paid. None of them are getting paid to be here to do this. They do it of their own free will. And it's like when it's really stormy and stuff like that, I'm like, if you don't feel like getting out in this weather, if you'd rather stay home just in case some horrible stuff happens, then stay home. It's all been voluntary. And first off, thanks for coming, by the way. Thanks for being here for at least today. Again, it is highly unlikely that anything would come of it, but in the event that it did, they would have no way to kind of, I guess you could tell them something completely different. I'm going to the store or whatever. That's the thing. I don't know how hard it's going to be to enforce this, but it's also not on me to tell you to say, hey, man, don't worry about it. Just come on. Don't even worry about it. It's not for me to tell you that. Mm-hmm. I got credentials and that means that I don't have to worry about it at all. And if anything should ever happen, I think Matt's government. He could probably get out of it too. But
sounds essential.
Yeah, he's military. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So that's my whole thing. I don't see. I can't ask him to do that. I know it's very unlikely that anything would happen, but in the event that it did, they would have no way to prove that they were coming here or that they were essential or anything like that. They would have nothing to back up that claim, and I don't want that happening to them. So that's my whole thought on it. This is in effect until I believe the 30th?
End of the month.
Yeah, this is in effect until the end of the month. Stay-at-home order. Will it get loosened? Will it be changed? Will it amend? Will it, is it malleable? Is it something that can change the definition or whatever? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It just starts today, so we don't know. So yeah, so let's see. We've good afternoon. One of the shows. Can't you just do it from your houses? It seems like all the DJs around here are at home. It's so to answer that question, yes and no. There are some jocks in this building with the capabilities to do their air shifts from home. It sounds live, but it's not. Talk radio is a little bit different in that regard. You might be thinking now, if you're thinking of somebody like Rush or Stern or somebody like that with thinking in talk radio, bring it down a notch. We're not on we're not on that kind of playing field here. It's possible to set that. The thing is, if you set it, even if you set it up at home, somebody has to be here to run things. It is not an automated thing. Everybody who's doing stuff from their home, like radio people who are doing stuff from their home. If you're hearing jocks who are doing their especially talk radio, if they're doing live talk radio from their house, there is somebody else on the other end making sure that it's on the air. The reason they're doing it at their house is because if they were to get sick, they don't have anybody to fill in. They would lose money. They would lose advertisers. So they're protecting their assets, which is, you're a jock that makes us a lot of money. Go home and do it from home. We'll put Mr. Whoever behind the board at the station who can make sure you get on the air. But yeah, so it can be done. It would still require somebody here. Our show on the weekend, they're not going to hire somebody to come and do this thing here. So, while I could do it from home, And we've done it from my living room, by the way.
Yes, we have.
We haven't done it over the air like this from my living room, but we have done the show from the living room. So there is that aspect. Thar66 says most podcasters do it from their homes now with split screen thing going on. That's fine for podcasters, man. If we were podcasters that did not have some sort of deadline where at 4 o'clock something has to be on the air on this station on Saturday or dead air will play.
That's the worst thing.
And will not play for an entire, and nothing will play for an entire hour until somebody gets here and gets it fixed. We can't do that. So there's another thing. What else? Hey, I've been working at home for a few weeks now because of what is happening. So if your area is being hit, please stay safe, everyone. And that's another thing. We're just trying to make. If GameStop can pretend they're essential, you can certainly say that you're essential.
Yeah, we can say that, yeah, but it's not.
I would love to. That's the thing. I don't. That's the whole point. I don't see any problem with them coming in here. I don't see any problem with them telling whoever pulls them over or tries to enforce this law, which I don't think they will, that they couldn't say, oh, I'm just on my way to get gas, or I'm going to the store, or I'm headed over to this place to do this thing. That is completely within your right to do and lawful for you to do. I have no thought in my head that you couldn't get away with it and do it. But I don't need to put you in that position. You do that on your own time. And don't lie to get out of something on behalf of this show's part. Right?
Right. Do
it for your other job. Do it for some other reason. But don't do it for this show, because then, I don't know, if you're using a get-out-of-jail-free card, I don't think it's worth it to do it on the show. I mean, I don't know. But I don't want to be the one that makes you do that, put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't want this show to be the reason that you had to possibly go against your morals or whatever and have to lie to a police officer. That may be a big thing that holds people up, and they're like, well, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lie to a person of authority. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to put you in a position to do that. So I'm perfectly fine with it. Again, I don't think anything's going to happen, but I'm perfectly fine with you not coming in for the rest of the month. It's just a thought of, am I going to continue to do the show by myself? I realize that Nate can call in. I realize Matt can call in. I realize RJ can call in and talk. It's different. We had Nate on for the entire show over the phone. Wasn't too bad. It's not as good as having him here. It's not as good as having somebody in the room with you, talking to them, looking them in the eye, and talking to them. So, what else we have? Bam Brian. Yeah, you have to have someone to cut commercial feeds and back to switching. Yeah, you could pre-record it and let people email in video. We did that once. We used to pre-record. Again, this is back when we did the show at my house and other venues. We've done this show in many different places. I don't mind doing it from home, but finding the time to do it from home is a little tough. First off, it would cause them to, again, get out and come over to my house or go to a certain place to record. We could do it all over internet things, but I think the quality of that wouldn't be good for over-the-air type stuff, for the radio feed and that sort of thing. Again, but then again, it goes to finding time. I still work Monday through Friday. So we'd have to have a show ready to go by Saturday at 4, and I would have to have everything produced and put in, cut for the commercial time and everything else, ready to go by Saturday at 4. So we would have to record the show, I guess, maybe on Sunday, so then I could take the week to get it ready for a Saturday broadcast. Well, then I guess we got to start tomorrow, right? What are we going to talk about tomorrow that we just talked about today? So, we got the phone ring. Yeah, that's the other thing. Nobody else is here, so and my attention is focused on RJ, so I'm not going to be able to see the phones when they call. So I'm not. You could keep throwing out suggestions. You might hit something that works. I'm just trying to find every avenue of possibility this could happen to make this a bad idea, even though it sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Just trying to see do it by yourself from home, just on Twitch with Fire playing on a computer screen, fireside chat. Yeah.
I see a lot of Zoom in there, but the only thing I know about Zoom was that it was in the news media recently for
I heard
people
bad
bombing
things.
it. Yeah, people were bombing it.
Yeah, I heard bad things about
Zoom. People's broadcasts. A lot of folks were at home bored, so they just decided to mess with people's streams.
Yeah, that's what I heard about Zoom, so I'm staying away from Zoom. Anyway, that's the situation. Will we have a show next week? I don't know. Here's part 2 of this whole thing. And by the way, I don't know who you are, but I know you're on the phone. Hang on. I'll get to you in just a second. Part 2 of this situation is, in case you haven't checked, and I actually haven't recently, let me check real quick, just to see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. In case you haven't, okay, something's going on. Huh. Interesting. I just tried to go to our website, and we're having problems with our website right now. We actually started having problems last Sunday before last. After the last episode, I edited the footage or did everything I had to. I uploaded it to our FTP and everything else. Just everything is just like it was supposed to do. Then Sunday, I go to post, and I write up the show post, and I get everything ready. Well, then I go to log in to put the post on our website, ingamechat.net, and I can't get in. It's not denying me a login. It's the whole thing is just all messed up. It's just giving me an error. Can't even get me to the login screen. Found out that I guess an update was pushed through WordPress that we were not prepared for. More than and look, I don't have a lot of maintenance going on that website. There's not a whole lot of maintenance whatsoever on that website. It just kind of does what it does. And I really wasn't paying any attention to anything that may say, hey, you should update your blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't speak web talk. So it decided to push that update, and our site decided to say, well, we can't work the way it's situated right now. So Jeremy, who used to be on the show with us, he went in and looked at it and looked around and was finding all kinds of things and tried to get it back to some sort of operating level, and couldn't. I got one of our IT guys here who works with WordPress, actually, and he's in the middle of trying to get it done. I talked with him the Monday after that, this is still back in March. The Monday after that, I tried talking to him, and he gave it a look. I checked in with him yesterday or Thursday, I think. Thursday or Friday, I checked in with him, and he wanted to ask me some questions. I haven't talked to him since then. But our website currently, ingamechat.net, is kind of a shell of its former self right now. I don't know if you've been there. Some episodes are up there, not our most recent, but some episodes are up. Episode 8 is up there, but I don't have 9 up there, and this is episode 10 that we're working on right now. So that's the other situation. Hopefully we can get this thing back on course, at least for the website, so I can get these past 2 episodes up. But, yeah. If you're looking for current episodes, let me see if this works. This does not work, that I can tell. Yeah, our YouTube channel will continue to carry them. But I was going to say that basically if you take the URL of the show, of the audio, and just change you can see how we label these things. Mm-hmm. Just change the label. Yeah. You'll find it. You'll be able to find the actual audio. So, but yeah, the website's not looking too great. So, yeah, the Facebook page will still be up. The YouTube page will still be up. We'll still be putting it on Twitter. Everything except for ingamechat.net. That's the issue. So, reading over some of the chat comments there. Well, if you decide midweek not to do a show, could you post it on the website?
That's why I was saying we could put an update or something on the Facebook page.
I mean, yeah, we will. I don't know. I've done the show one time by myself. I didn't like it just because I like having you guys here. Yeah. And it's not necessarily because it's just me, and just me by myself trying to do this thing. I think I could, but I do like having other input. Matt got in touch with me, actually. He is with his mother, she has an immune deficiency. So he is highly limiting his disembarks. Mm-hmm. He is in military, so he is required to go to work. But really, if it's not essential, he does not venture out because of his mother. Nate has the same situation. That he has a sister that would not be able to handle this well should she catch it, and so he does everything he can to make sure that he doesn't get it. Because if he transfers it to any member of his family, then he can't. I mean, it's just precaution after precaution after precaution. So, and I completely understand that, and they have no business being here if that's, with that being the case. Much less the fact that now we're on stay-at-home orders by the governor. So, let's see. Zoom works really well, by the way. You should be able to do that with anyone. Yeah, we're not sure on Zoom. I haven't made up my mind on Zoom. I've heard things about Zoom. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. That's what's on after us. I'm just, I don't know. If you've got, there's something about it. I don't know. If you've got a link to a source about like the issues with Zoom, it's stuff I've just read little reports about it, and I haven't read in depth. I've just read headlines saying like Zoom's security compromised, and I'm like, okay, well, that's bad. So, yeah, the security issues. That's why I stay away from it. Let's see who's on the phone here. Hi, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
It's me, Chris. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for waiting on the phone.
That's okay. So you're thinking about stopping it from here on out, and
for at least the month until things get back on track, but I really don't know how to do that other than playing replays over and over and over and over again. And I hate doing that. I really hate doing that. So I don't know. I might give it a shot next week and see how that goes and see if I can, knock out another 2 or 3 shows until things change. And I don't necessarily know that they're going to change. I don't know that this order is not going to get extended into the month of May. I kind of feel it will.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same.
Yeah, so, next to getting these boys some credentials so they can drive in and not be worried about it.
Well, if you don't come in, I guess you can play something else besides Destiny 2.
What? What are you talking about? This would give me more time to play Destiny 2.
That's the whole pun joke. They give you time to do something else besides play your favorite game.
But that's all I would do is play Destiny 2. Actually, I didn't play Destiny 2. I think I played it like once this week. But this past weekend, I did not play Destiny 2. I actually played a couple of different games on Xbox Game Pass. So we'll be talking about that just a little bit, because I didn't really put a whole lot of time. And also, I didn't play a lot of games that I wasn't already playing. Like My Friend Pedro, I played some of that, which I had already played at a PAX, and it's on Game Pass, so I tried it out. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm leaning very hard into doing a show next week, just me, and then seeing how that goes to determine if I'm going to do this for the foreseeable future until we get back on track here and I can get them in. So we'll see. Don't know.
Yep.
But I appreciate you always listening and always calling, man.
Yeah, as y'all know from, I think, a couple weeks ago, I got one of those fancy laser active laser disc players that plays the video games. Well, I've got a couple games for both different packs that Sega and NEC, which was the TurboGrafx, made. They can play with them. And I did get a Japanese PC Engine pack, which it was working at the time, but, it had original capacitors. And I'm taking a break from replacing the last set of, the same rated capacitors on that circuit board. And, I've had fits with that one. I've been spending about 4 or 5 hours messing with that. So hopefully, I remember seeing some of the other videos where somebody else had repaired this, and they said, after you're done, check between ground and the voltage rail on the circuit boards, which I've done, and make sure there's no shorts. If there is a short, it's going to mess something up inside the circuitry of the main unit. So one time I did have a short, but I've already fixed it. Now there's not. So crossing my fingers that it still works afterwards. And then if it does, then I'm going to probably order another pack that's been replaced on the Sega side that somebody's went through and repaired themselves, because it has double the capacitors, close to about 81 or 82 capacitors. And
jeez.
Yeah, even though that I could take my time, I'm just I think I'll just spend another $400, $500, $600 on another pack that's been repaired and forget it and not worry about it, because I'd rather have something that's going to last for years instead of go bad down the road. But if I can get this one to work, I'll be good for now. And but I've also got into collecting the anime Laserdisc series that came out way back in the day. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have started looking online. I've spent way too much money on those suckers.
Yeah, but with all the free time we've been having, that's a lot of things we've been doing, going online, seeing all this stuff now.
Yeah, we're supporting the different economies all over the country, haven't we?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you calling, man.
All right, well, y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all maybe next week.
I mean, you'll see me next week. I'm feeling, like I said, I'm leaning real hard on doing a show next week just by myself and seeing where that goes. Just seeing how that goes. Mm-hmm. Which, and by the way, when I say by myself, that doesn't mean nobody can call in.
Don't we know?
Feel free.
I mean, yeah, you'll.
I know I'll hear from you, Chris.
Not unless you're not there at that day, but if you come in and I hear you say the current date and all that, I'll know you're live.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks so much, man.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon. Be safe, y'all.
Take care.
You too now. Take care.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last week we ran our. Oh, what was it? Was it our 500th episode? I think. Which one was it? What episode is this? This is 500. This is I don't know. We ran. It's that big celebration we did years ago where we all dressed up.
Yeah.
Whatever episode that was, I reran that one for the last week. So we are at a break here. We're going to take one, and when we come back, we will talk about the games we played. We will try and have a regular, normal show. In the event that this was going to be our last show for a while, I loaded up our outline here with just everything I could possibly think of to put in there. There's no way in hell we're going to hit all of it. But it's there in case we need it. And rest assured, I will save everything I can to bring it over next week. Because not a lot's going on, actually. I mean, there's been things said, but it's more, just either things are delayed or things are on track. And not really anything like this is new and announced, I guess. I don't know. We'll look through it. Whatever. Mm-hmm. We're going to come back in just a moment. I did get some music ready. So this is a game called Golf with Your Friends. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it. It was on Steam. Golf with Your Friends. It's the main menu music. We'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. Well, if you need new music from new video games, couldn't forget about Half-Life Alyx. This is called Anti-Citizen.
Which one is Alex?
The VR game. Or did you mean which one was the character?
Yeah, all I know is like Gordon.
There was Gordon, and he had, and Alex was, I want to say the doctor's daughter, I think. It's obviously been a while.
I'm asking, I could just Google it.
You could, yeah.
Let's see. ALYX. Okay.
Yeah, ALYX. Because the Y is the upside down, the lambda symbol for Half-Life and whatever. Yeah. It's marketing. It's a thing. It's branding. Going over to the phones. Josh is calling in. Hey, man.
Hey there, from Germany.
What is going on? How's everything in Germany?
It's
I heard that Germany's doing pretty good with this whole thing.
Yeah, we don't have mandatory that people have to stay inside and don't go to their jobs so far.
Yeah.
But we have a thing where you aren't supposed to go outside with more than 2 people at once, unless they're related or need help.
Yeah, I had heard that Germany was actually handling this whole situation pretty well. So, yeah, good job, Germany.
Yes, so far so good. I mean, still not the best. It could get worse, so
let me ask you a completely non-gaming related question. It was completely out of curiosity. When you watch the news, if you watch the news, but when you receive the news in your area in Germany,
yeah,
how are they I don't want to say representing, how are they explaining the situations going on in the United States?
Well, I'm not really the guy that watches news, first of all. But it's not really talked about much at all. Okay. We usually try to focus on ourselves and the immediate neighbors because Italy did get it pretty hard.
Yeah.
And most of it came from that direction over to us before it started spreading. So it went across Austria and Switzerland to us.
Okay.
And started down in Bavaria and somewhere and spread it upwards.
I was just curious. It's you don't get a lot of you don't often get an opportunity to talk to somebody outside of the United States, but I mean like really outside of the United States. Whatever, Canada doesn't count. I mean Canada counts, but not in the sense that I'm trying to
Same
get.
continent doesn't count.
I know it's a sense that I'm trying to get an idea of how it is represented or how it is talked about or how it is not displayed, but I guess how it is shown to you as to here's the situation in the United States, So I was just curious. That's all. We can move on from there. So, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to call because of the whole situation going on. My Pathfinder group had to reschedule and do things differently as well. Mm-hmm. Because we can't meet in person because we're over here we get fined for that at this point. So we did our first online Pathfinder session.
Interesting. How'd it go?
It was a little bit clunky at the beginning with setting it all up and making it work for everyone, but then it worked like a charm and we managed to play for about 4 hours without problems.
Yeah, I'm sure you can work out the kinks with it and actually probably get something nailed down as far as the how the situation can work and be better, how you can improve upon it. You do it enough, and then you figure out how to make it work better. But that's good. This is something that has probably ruined a lot of D&D campaigns.
Yeah, but it's not that difficult to set things up differently because, I mean, there are lots of tools and websites you can use that cost money, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like Roll20 and whatever. But we used a mix of different tools that are all free. So that was all pretty affordable for us so far. Now,
are you stuck at home? You cannot leave your house? Is it some sort of order, or what's the deal there?
The deal is we aren't supposed to meet with other people outside of our house.
Gotcha.
In bigger groups. And our Pathfinder group are usually around 6 people or more. Mm-hmm. So if somebody saw that I go somewhere and they stop me and I don't have a good answer, I get fined.
Yeah, it's the same situation. It's what I'm trying to. It's what I. You know, it's the position that I'm trying not to put anybody here in with dealing with our stay-at-home order that is going on with the state. So now, are you still employed, or were you in? I don't know what your situation was ahead of time, but
yeah, that's the thing. So the company was already a little bit struggling before it all started, and last week, boss sat me down and said, "Here, you're not you're the newest in the group, and I still have one renewal before I'm permanently employed, so I had the option to get fired."
So,
well, I had the option. I got fired. By the end of the month, this month, I'll be out of work.
Gotcha. So you still have income coming in for the month?
Yes, exactly. And with the whole social stuff, safety net here in Germany, I will still be getting money afterwards, just less.
Will it be enough to live on, I guess, or will you be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more than okay so far.
I mean, I don't mean to get personal on this. I'm just curious as to it's interesting to talk to somebody in another country who is dealing with this situation as well, and how not necessarily they're handling as compared to us, but just to talk to somebody else who's going through it. It's just a curiosity to me. So, all the best to you. I hope everything goes well. Do they know? I don't exactly know what it is that you do, but are they hopeful that they're just going to get through this and they'll be able to hire you back, or was that a promise that might get made that, hey, when this is over, come back, we want you back?
Well, it wasn't said from them, but I told them, should they need a graphic designer again when it's all over, and they don't want to train and work somebody back into their flow, they can hit me up as long as I haven't found something new in the meanwhile.
Well, what are you going to do with all that time?
Yeah, well, so far I'm starting to write my first application for something new, but I don't expect anything good in this time that people will be exactly hiring.
Oh, you mean for like a job?
Yeah, something new.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I don't expect people to be hiring much right now.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, yeah, well, I still have the month I have to go to work. And we're having something at work that's like you come less and you get paid less, but the government pays a little bit extra onto that, so it's not that bad. It's like translated as something like short work, basically is the word for it.
Okay.
And yeah, we're struggling a little bit right now how to organize the whole thing, who comes when, on which day, for how long, and it's not looking good.
That was my next thought, man. How concerned are you?
Yeah, well, I don't think the company will be doing too good after this is over, if they still manage to be around after it's over.
How long now? This is like an interview, man. I'm sorry.
No.
You said you were the newest hire there, so how long had you been working there?
I've been working there for 2.5 years, something around that time.
Jesus, that doesn't even get you there? You're the newest hire, but it's 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because,
Dude.
like, this company has a thing of, like, you get 3 renewals of your contract, and after the 3rd, you're the permanent hire. And I was about to get my 3rd, and right now, with how bad the company was doing already and the corona thing, and, well, it was easy to say, yeah, no, goodbye.
Man.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll manage. I managed before. It's not the first time I'm unemployed, so...
I mean, short of telling you if there's anything we can do, we do it for you. I just have no idea what that would be. Other than maybe just keep doing the show since you have something to listen to. Of course, what time is it over there right now?
We're nearing midnight over here.
Okay, yeah.
So it's okay. It's fine.
Well, man, that's tough stuff, and it's hard to hear, and I'm sorry. I know that I know people that it's happening to here as well.
I've read about some numbers that are pretty big.
Yeah. So far, we're good here at the radio station itself now, and I have not talked to. I honestly haven't talked to Matt or Nate. I haven't even talked to RJ here as far as jobs are concerned, and I haven't talked to them about that whatsoever. But here's a guy calling from Germany, and I've just decided to interview his whole backstory. But haven't even had close conversations with the guys that sit across from me. But yeah, we'll get through this. You'll get through this as well, and we're all pulling for you, and we're pulling for everybody who's having to deal with this thing. So, but man, thanks for calling in, and thanks for listening. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing this again next week. I'm going to be doing a show next week.
Well, one more thing, since this is a gaming show.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally derailed. I apologize.
No problem.
And I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't feel like you were put on the spot. I did not mean to do that to you at all.
Oh no, I wouldn't be calling if I didn't expect something like that.
I completely go off the rails, and I'm very inquisitive on people. So
yeah, no problem. I'm like the exotic guy from the foreign country. So
yeah, not Joe Exotic though. Go ahead. What was your gaming thing?
Yeah, we're gaming right now. I'm playing a lot of Warzone with friends.
Okay.
The Call of Duty Battle Royale.
I still need to fire that up and have not done it.
Yeah, it's cross-play, so we could be playing that together. And they have like a double XP weekend right now before the season is over, so there's something to dig your teeth into if you get Destiny 2.
Well, again, I really haven't played much of Destiny 2. Right now, I am sitting on, basically this is a slow burn season apparently. So they release a section of the map for you to, a new area of the map. They released it whenever the season started. And it was available for you to do for 2 weeks. Do that thing, upgrade it completely if you want to, or if you can. You got 2 weeks to do it, and then they close that one and open up the one on the moon. And that's the one that's currently open with right now. And it has been for 2 weeks. And then they'll close that one, and by close I just mean they're turning them off and on. They close that one and they'll open up the one on another planet. That's the final one. I honestly think it'll be open for another 2 weeks, and then after those 2 weeks, all three will be open at the same time for you to do stuff with or whatever. Well, I've already banked enough upgrade materials to where as soon as one of these bunker things open up, I can completely upgrade it all the way. So I've banked enough coins now in just the first week of the moon bunker being open to where I will be able to fully upgrade the next one that opens up on Tuesday. And then I have no idea where it's going. But it's a very slow burn for me. It's just really like, jump in, do your stuff. I've done it. I'm there. I don't have to worry about anything else. So it's, to be honest with you, it's nice. I like it because it doesn't mean I have to obsess over it. It doesn't mean I have to grind. There are things to grind if you wanted to do that, but like you could do trials, and I'm not stepping my foot in trials. It was you that we stepped in. You and me and RJ, I think, did trials together, didn't we?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if we did the Osiris one or of the 9 one.
No, we did we did the 9. It was the one that launched with Destiny 2.
Yeah, we did trials. We did Trials of the 9 together,
and that was on PS4. We all did that together, and I got my achievement. We got our achievement for it, the one trophy that was offered, and then I never stepped foot in it again.
I think we got like one match win, and that's all you needed. Win your first match.
Yeah, and so
we were done.
We kept that, and then I never stepped foot. They closed it off. Yeah. They brought it back. I still haven't stepped foot in it, and I likely never will.
I think the benefits you get from that was like maintaining streaks. I think
it is
5-game streaks and things like that.
I think it's either 7 or 9 you have to do. You have to do something like that. Probably 7.
Highest streak I ever got in anything any PvP base was like maybe 4. Yeah, that was luck of the draw, really.
So, but I haven't really done much of that. That's what I'm saying. It's a slow burn for me. I like it because it just doesn't mean that I have to obsess over it or continue to work on stuff. I can just let it sit there and do what I need to do. Iron Banner was a couple weeks ago, I think, and I was able to get the bow and arrow for that thing, the weapon that comes with it. I was able to knock that out. That was just quest wise. You go in and do this, then you get this many kills with a handgun, with a scout rifle, with a blah blah blah, and so whatever.
I don't think I'm gonna do Iron Banner anymore.
It's fine. I didn't want to do it other than to get that weapon. And if that weapon if that weapon was not on offer, the bow and arrow to finish that quest, if that weapon was not on offer, I'd have never done it.
Yeah.
I'd have never done it.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Iron Banner's been a while since I've done Iron Banner, but Iron Banner requires you to have these, like, quest steps to even open up the limited, and I mean limited, weapons that are available.
Yeah, this was a quest step as well to get the bow and arrow. Yeah,
yeah, but no, I mean I'm at the point where you have to get quest steps to even give tokens to Lord Saladin to get anything from his stash.
Yep,
and I'm like, you're not worth slogging through the Crucible 18 times just to open up your stuff again.
You'll be doing it a lot more than that.
Yeah,
you'll be doing it a lot more than that.
And I'm like, you're not worth it, so I just left it alone at that point. Yeah, but I'm just trying to work on getting Destiny 2. I'm just trying to get to level 980 to even get some of that stuff going on the moon with the bunkers, with Rasputin bunkers. Because you got to be like 980, and the highest I'm at is like 957 right now. I'm getting killed in like 2 shots.
Yeah, that's tough one.
I'm gonna have to back off.
I can take you in there because I can bring over my hunter since I got cross save, and I can join you and do your bunker, clear your bunker on a daily basis. With you just to help you.
Or you can just play on PC.
You could come over to. I just mean you.
That means I have to triple. That means I have to triple dip in the game or something.
I mean, it's easier from. Oh, you know what? I don't have this season actually. I just thought about that.
No, you don't.
I don't have the season.
I don't have the season on PC, and you don't have the season on PS4. So yeah. So if
I can't. Man,
one of us have to double triple dip in the game.
Screw it.
And yeah.
I'm sorry, we derailed again there. You were on it. You were talking about playing Warzone with Call of Duty. What else?
What else? I've been playing more Monster Hunter. I've been constantly updating the game and recently put up all the events again because people are stuck at home right now anyways. So they opened up all these limited events. You can do them all right now. That's pretty nice. And finally, I also started playing Animal Crossing for Switch, the new one.
I have not picked that up yet, and I need to. I need to. I don't know.
It's a very relaxing game.
I know, right? I think I would enjoy just sitting there in bed before I go to sleep and just kind of playing a little bit of it.
Well, from what I hear, except the tarantulas, those are not relaxing at all.
They're not fun.
No. I think there was a video someone put on Facebook of a guy trying to catch a spider, and he did catch it, but in the process of doing so, he aggroed 2 more. So as soon as he was holding it up for view, 2 more jumped him. And I think it's like, isn't it like 1 hit and you're knocked out or something in that game?
Yep.
Yeah, so he got, as soon as he got his achievement, he got jumped. Those things are nothing to play with, and they're pretty difficult from what I hear. But if you can't catch a bunch of them, it's worth your while.
Oh, yeah. I'm swimming in cash right now because I caught a whole island of tarantulas.
Yeah, they said it was something called they call it Tarantula Island because there's a whole bunch on there at night. They show up.
Yeah. The whole thing of Animal Crossing is super fascinating. They also have like a stock market where you can invest in turnips and try to hedge your bets when you want to sell them. And they're like online tools that can predict what prices you could be getting, and people are posting in the Reddit what their selling prices right now, and you can visit their island for a 10% cut of your sale. Really crazy if you really dig into it.
Hey, look, folks got time to play it. They can come up with all types of stuff on there, man.
Yep, for sure.
So,
but that's about it in terms of games I'm playing right now.
All right.
That's cool.
I appreciate you calling in, man, and I hope that I see your name pop up on our chat list tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next Saturday when we do a show.
I hope so too. That I'm around.
Yeah. Well, not just that. I just it's good to see. It's good when I see everybody here. Duke Frucom was in there earlier. Hadn't seen him in forever, so it was good to see him show up in the chat room as well. So we appreciate you calling, and take care out there. Stay safe, and hope to talk to you again soon.
You too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care now.
We're about to go to a break here, but I did want to say that if anybody else is listening from another country and feels like calling in and talking about this whole thing, feel free to do so. Even if you're not from another country, if you are, if you just want to call in and tell us how you're dealing with this out of state, not here in this state, but how are you dealing with it in another part of the country or out of the country or whatever. You want to call in and talk to us about that? We'd be happy to hear from you. It's good to get different perspectives and to see what's going on with other people and how they're dealing with this, and hopefully games will be involved. But it's okay if they won't. It's fine. We're all friends here, just keeping each other company. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we'll have more in-game chat. The number, by the way, 334-272-9228, Duke. 272-9228. I'll just throw that out there for him. This next track is the main theme for a game called We Were Here Together. And we will be back after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a brand new game. It's Ninja Theory's new game, Bleeding Edge.
Oh, okay.
I have not heard great things about it.
I've seen posts all over Facebook for it. There was a heavy ad rush for that game.
Yeah, it feels like it's very Apex Legends-y and Battle Royale-ish or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does not appeal to me. I like Ninja Theory's work. This does not give me any urge to play, to say that. By the way, Rogue Hunter joined us. I haven't seen him in a... Well, I mean, I see him all the time on our Discord, and I play with him on Destiny 2. I haven't seen him in this chat room in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah. About 4v4 team brawler. Yep. pick your
it's like ugh.
Yeah, pick your type and
It does not appeal to me.
Yeah, maybe we're just oversaturated with that genre of game right now.
I think more than likely. Tell you what does appeal to me. I was talking to Duke Frucom. Hey, Duke.
What's up? Good. What's going on, guys?
Hey, man. It's good to hear from you. Haven't heard from you in quite a while.
I try to get a monthly check-in here and there, see what's going on. Tough with the newborn, or she's not newborn anymore. She's approaching walking.
But when we talked to you, I think she was last time.
All right, so 7 months ago, my 7-month check-in.
Hey, how's where now? You live where?
Boston.
Okay. Ooh. All right.
Yeah.
How are things up there?
Things are okay. Our leadership from the governor is pretty good. I have the ability to work from home, so that's not too bad. My wife can't work from home, so she's in fitness. So I actually set up. We were talking about Zoom on chat earlier. I set up a Zoom thing for her to do her workouts for her clients remotely.
I was about to say, because most gyms have closed.
Yeah.
I say gyms,
but it works out great.
Centers.
I mean, you can set it up. You can interact with people. If you ever need a co-host for any, you don't have to do any solo shows. I'll be glad to jump on a show with you through Zoom.
Through Zoom? Well, yeah. Let me send you a picture of the computer equipment that we're using up here.
Oh, yikes!
What is this? Hang on, I can tell you what this is. Control panel. Where is the thing that tells me about the system? We are running Microsoft Windows XP Pro version 2002 with Service Pack 3. We're running a Intel Core 2 Duo. It's got a E7400 at 2.8 gigahertz, 3 gigs of RAM.
All right, so Zoom won't work on that PC, but I bet you have a laptop hanging around. We could probably figure something out.
No, I got a laptop here, but it's not wired into the board.
Oh.
That's the problem. Is getting you into the board so people could hear you through Zoom. So
yeah.
No, man. And this thing is wired into the board so that I could go to YouTube, if YouTube works on a browser, and play audio through that computer through the board here so people could hear it. So it's not good.
Isn't that board older than us?
Well, the board itself is old as dirt, but I mean, in retrospect, the computer that I just listed is actually newer than this equipment we're using in here as far as the board. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously, 2002, it predates that, but yeah, it's far from modern. So yeah, but you can still call in. We would love to have you call in, and I would love for people to call in. It will just be me next week.
Oh, I'll call in then.
Yeah.
Because I'm gaming now. I have stuff to talk about.
But you're still employed, though, right?
I am still employed. Yes.
Okay.
So work from home, no problems there.
I'm still employed. RJ, you're good, right?
Yeah, I'm still employed.
Okay.
Yeah.
RJ's good as well. I know Matt and I know Nate are both good. All three of them, there are no signs between RJ, Nate, and Matt. There are no signs of them having any problems with their job, hanging on with the work that they have. So far, so good on my end as well. So I still come in every day, and we still do that, and there's really no change in that happening, unless, of course, one of us comes down with it, and then it's like, "Ooh, you stay at home, you don't come in at all."
Right.
So I have to deal with that. But we're hoping that's not going to be the case. This building itself has gone from having, I don't know, 20 people in it in the low moments. You know what I'm saying? In the low, in the midday range and stuff like that, to now like barely 5 in peak hours. So but I'm one of those 5. Yeah, I'm always
Keeping
here.
the lights on.
Yep. So I have to be. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a job. That's the whole thing. I know that I see everybody in the chat room talking about, I got to keep up with something to do, and I'm stuck at home and this, and I'm like, well, and we just talked to Josh, and it's not too great on his end. He's good for the month, but after that, what happens then? So grateful that I do have a place to work. Grateful that I have a job. So, and I'm hearts go out to the people who don't have theirs. So, what have you been playing there, Mr. Duke?
Oh, look at that segue.
I know. I was trying to get off of it again. Otherwise, I'd be right back on the whole situation.
Yeah, I got you. It is tough. It's just we're unprecedented times right now. So just hoping that we can fight through this.
Amazing, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you and your family. I mean, I know you and your wife and the kid good, but what about the rest of the family?
Everyone's pretty good in my family. Everyone is really just staying in. We're trying to not go out. The only time we ever go out is to get food, and I'm hoping that even the food services will start delivering around here, which they might be doing again, so we won't even have to do that. So we're just trying to play our part and not venture out.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And so while you're inside...
Yes, so lots of stuff been going on. You guys talk about the Black Mesa at all? The finished...
we did talk about 2 weeks ago when it released.
Oh, you did? I missed it?
Yeah, when it released, we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
You guys play through it?
I have not, no. I have not touched it. I used some music from it, though.
It's really good.
But I haven't messed with it.
They really figured out a way to stretch out the source engine towards those ending levels. Like, you go back and play the original game when you're on the alien planet. They took it pretty much to... They tried to create the most alien world they could, and I think they succeeded. So it's definitely worth playing through. And they even created some new sequences that wasn't in the original that kind of adds in nicely to kind of like the lore of Half-Life. So I recommend that.
Yeah. What did you? Do you got the VR thing? Did you play any of Alex?
No, I'm not really that interested in VR at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe if I really want to play Half-Life Alyx, but I just don't. I'm not going to buy VR for one game, but down the line, if things start coming out, and there's other games that support it too, like Super Shot would be pretty fun to play in VR. I think
there's a lot of fun VR titles.
Yeah,
it's just a high cost of entry, and not just the high cost of entry. That's kind of coming down actually, but I mean, you got to have a setup for it. You got to have a room. You got to have
space
to really enjoy it. You need some space. It can't just be the headset,
Yeah, you can play it sitting down. I'm not sure how much fun that would be. Especially, I don't know if I'd like to see what the difference is between like the teleporting and the walking. I know there's different ways to play through Half-Life Alyx. So there's a lot of stuff that I've experienced some of those games at PAX East.
Did you go?
Not this year, no.
Okay, no, probably good that you didn't.
Yeah, this was probably a bad year to go.
It was right, and that's the other thing. They haven't announced anything for Seattle yet. Which honestly, that's the thing. They haven't said anything. They haven't given a hint that they're even talking. Like, hey, we'll have some news about I was about to say Half-Life Seattle. We have some news about PAX Seattle that we're going to tell you in the next 3 weeks or something. They haven't said one word about it. And it's not necessarily annoying me, but I wish they would come out and say, either cancel it or say that we are looking at the situation, we're monitoring it, and we will let you know. But they haven't said anything like that.
A lot of the studios ended up pulling out anyway. Like, they weren't even going to be there. Like,
and it's most likely going to be the same thing by the time, because PAX is like the end of August, and I just don't see it happening. Yeah,
well, if you believe the president, we're going to have everything sorted out by football launch, in September. So,
I think. This is me on the. I've always been a glass half empty kind of guy. Always. And I've always tried to be prepared for the glass being half empty as well. So if that should happen, man, that's great. I would love for it to. I hope that it does. But the other side of me says that that's not happening. The other side of me says that we will, if we do.
I don't think we just have enough data, because they're talking about this month being the critical month. This is where we're starting to see it. Like, it's
right, because what
this
data
week
do you,
and next week?
Yeah, what data do you have to say that May will be okay?
Right.
Right. You're saying it's going to be this month because you can see maybe 2 weeks into the future and see, it's going to get bad this week. Okay, well, what about the week after that? It's not going to be as bad because we're going to hit some peak? What's the situation? Who knows? You don't know. No. You don't. And it's going to, and I don't know. I don't know. I am prepared to, and like football's huge down here, man. College football anyway. College football's massive.
It's almost religion.
I don't think it's going to happen. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think everything's going to be canceled. They're not going to risk it, especially the kids. Like they're not going to.
Far too.
They're not going to send those kids out.
And man, baseball, same thing. And you're Boston, man. I know you're missing. You're missing your Fenway.
Well, I'll tell you what. This has been a rough off season for Boston fans. So I'm fine canceling 2020 for Red Sox and Patriots.
How do you think the Astros feel? They're probably like, shoo. Saved by a pandemic.
Let's skip right to 21.
Saved by a pandemic. Thank goodness that this pandemic came through, says most of the people on the Astros team, so that we don't have to listen to everybody talking about us anymore. Don't think that the baseball fans won't forget, though. No. When 2021 rolls around and everying else gets back in there, you still going to get booed.
The boos are on standby.
Oh, boy. Yeah, your time ain't come, buddy. So, I don't know. That's my thought. I don't really think. I think 2020 is going to be a wash. Yeah. It's just going to be like, let's just start over next year. I don't even think we're going to have a Super Bowl next year, because we won't have enough teams. We won't have enough play time for teams to actually have a Super Bowl. We might be back to normal by then, but it'll be so far behind that you won't be able to have enough games played in order to even have something that resembles a championship type of game, even in professional sports.
And how impressive will that be? Playing 4 games and then going to the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl. Like nobody would, no one would respect that.
How big of an asterisk do you want by your team?
Yeah.
Name for winning the Super Bowl on the year that nothing was done. So I mean, really, in a realistic sense, and I hate to say it now, this is not me saying that the economy is going to be shut down for that long. This is just me saying that big sporting events like this probably aren't going to happen. But I hope that they do. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But I'm worried that I'm right.
When pulled out of PAX, the only reason that I would have interest in going to the PAX was to play Last of Us 2. So when they pulled out, I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, and then they delayed. We had that on their thing that they have now delayed indefinitely, and that was a result.
That's a fine, though. That's a good move for them, I think. They're going to do the exact same thing they did with the first game, which is they were going to release it on PS4, and then when PS5 launched, they say, oh, we have this remastered with, DLC and everything, and here you go.
Well, I get that. No, but when Last of Us released on I was at E3. I was still doing E3, and it came out on a Friday when I got back in town from doing E3, and I keep whatever year this was. And but they wanted it to be a national, not a national. They wanted it to be a worldwide release. They wanted everybody playing it on the same day. And apparently, due to this virus, they could not get their marketing materials made. They could not get things shipped out. They couldn't get stuff done in order to have a worldwide release on whatever date in May they originally had picked. And so now they've postponed it completely, indefinitely. In fact, I got for whatever reason, I had 2 pre-orders of this thing. I had one on Amazon and Best Buy. I had no idea why. But I got emails from both saying, oh, hey, your date's changed. We're sorry. And then I got another email from both of them saying, here's your new date. And it's all December 31st of 2020, which is like the placeholder date of something that we don't know when it's going to release. So that's I don't know. And so that's interesting too, because this now puts it as a game that would be released on an older system if they don't already have something ready to go for the newer system, which may or may not. I have this thing here, and I may have to save it until next week, but it talked about, Phil Spencer saying that, no, Xbox, the Series X thing, whatever, new machine, looks to be on set to be released this year. We look like we're fine. There's no slowdowns in production. Everything's good. And I believe the same thing was said about Sony's PS5, was that things are good. There's no slowdowns. So, excuse me.
That's interesting. I don't know how you could, where are they manufacturing this thing where there's no slowdowns?
Exactly. And again, they're probably running into the same. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know if, because they still haven't announced it, and not. They can take as long as they want to, because when you're going to announce a, what is it, like an online conference type thing or whatever? You know, kind of like a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
But what they were going to do for their E3 presentation for Microsoft, Sony, and everybody else, you can say, hey, next week we're doing it. You don't have to come out a month in advance and say it's happening this day, you know, like you do when it's E3, when it's live.
Yeah.
You got to have that out there because invitations are going out for everybody else, so then they know when it is. This is not the case now, so they can do it whenever.
Yeah,
they can hold it.
What's the price point for you on the PS5?
That's the thing. The price point on any of these systems, I don't know. I feel like they got, and we've talked about this, man, and I've ranted on this thing before. We talked about specs the last 2 weeks ago. We talked about the specs because we got to do deep dives into these systems and what kind of bits and parts are in these things. And I was like, here it is on paper. On paper, Xbox wins, and this is all great, but none of this matters because we don't know what they're going to cost. And when we know the cost, then we'll likely know how this is going to play out. If they're priced around the same, then it's kind of a coin toss as to who's going to come out ahead on this thing. I don't think they'll be priced around the same, but I don't know. I don't know if Sony is waiting for Microsoft to go first or if I have no idea. But it can't be more than $500. Even $500 is pushing it.
Is $600 worth backwards compatibility for you?
No. $600 right now is not worth anything.
Not even if everything in the previous generation works on it.
To be honest with you,
hard media and digital.
Yeah, no. To be honest with you, no, because that price will come down over time. So this is probably going to be the first time that I am not day one jumping on a console.
And backwards compatibility.
That's so funny you said that because I was about to say the exact same thing. I bought all of them on day one.
Same.
This might be the first one that I just say, Yeah.
Same. This does not feel like, and it's been, what was the year that the PS4 and the Xbox came out? 2014?
Let's see. I think it was November of
2016.
No.
November of 2013 was when the PS4.
So it was 2013. Jeez, good Lord. It doesn't even feel like that.
And I was saying about backwards compatibility, I was thinking it really doesn't matter to me because my PS4 still works. So the PS3 still works. I mean, backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I don't have any of that hooked up at the house, but it's fine. It's not like I'm going back playing old games anyway.
Yeah, well, the backlog I got, I do that every
I know. Well,
still.
There is that. And the Xbox Game Pass is nice to have, by the way. So that's a nice little column in the, or something, a little check mark in the win column for Microsoft's team. But the problem with the price point is we've seen Sony release a system for $600 or $800, whatever that was, which was ridiculous.
They were pushing a new format though. That's a little bit different. I don't know if Sony's going to be pushing anything that radical.
Right. So, but that's the thing though. I don't think you don't go that high. You know, that's why I think $500 is your ceiling, and even at $500, and see, this was something that I didn't talk about because at the time it hadn't become what it's become. But $600 in a year where we have a pandemic and people lost jobs, or $500 in a year where we've had a pandemic, people have lost jobs and all this other stuff going on, I don't necessarily think that this isn't going to get pushed into next year as well, the release of these systems. It all depends. But I think $500 is too much. I think $400 is the sweet spot for both of them. Maybe even
they'd be doomed to not repeat what they did, the last generation, because every move they made, with the PS4 was the right move.
And
if they get their big head again and say, look at us,
Well, look at this. Look at the current generation, because I forgot to go into that. Was when the PS4 released against the Xbox One with the Kinect and all that crap was $500, and nobody was buying it. So many people were not buying it that they finally got rid of the Kinect, which was something that they were pushing game developers to develop for. But they took it away, and they said, here's our Kinectless version. In fact, they got rid of the Kinect altogether. It is now a dead peripheral. It is dead. It's done. You can't buy them anywhere. It's not a thing that goes with the system anymore.
Weren't they saying at first you needed the Kinect?
Oh, they said a lot of things at first.
Yeah. They said that it needed to be connected, 24/7.
Yeah, they said a lot of things at first that they had to roll back on because they realized that they were talking out of their But that's the thing. They released a system at $500 launch, and it didn't perform well. And I don't think it had anything to do with the Kinect. I think it had absolutely everything to do with that price point. Sony beat them on that price point. Mm-hmm. And everybody and their mother, which was mostly everybody because their mothers were buying it for them as far as the big market's concerned, were like, I'm going to get my boy a new, or my girl a new system, whatever. Here it is. Well, that one's $500. This one's $400. I'm getting the $400 one, So you've got to, this is why I say, if they come out at the same price, whatever price that is, I have no idea. But if one comes out and it's more expensive than the other one, expect the other one to to sell more. That's just obvious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and, there hasn't really been anything to get at launch either the past couple of generations. Like, there's no absolute reason to go out and get it, except if you want to just replace a spot on your mantle, with this generation, if it's backwards compatibility. Then I could see people trading in their PS4s and Xbox Ones for the new one.
I look back and I wonder what I ever gained by having a system on a launch day.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Scott, I went through and I went back. I actually counted all the PS4 games that I actually played since launch, and it was like it was drastically lower than my previous generation. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm a PC guy at heart, and then I have a console, for some extra stuff, but I'm not doing anything with it. It sits as a Plex player for me or Netflix.
Yeah, so I'll want one of the systems. I'll want both of the systems. Eventually, I will want them. Eventually, I feel like there will be games there that I will want to play. Although Microsoft gives me less and less of a reason to get one of their consoles when they release the game on both PC and console.
That's the other thing. We're starting to see like Sony-owned, developers launching on PC now. Same with Microsoft. Like you can buy Halo on Steam.
I know. You can buy Sea of Thieves on Steam, or at least it's coming to Steam. Sony is releasing Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam.
Dreams games are on Epic.
So I get that, and that's good. I'm glad that they're doing that. But I believe it's day and date for the Microsoft games. Like when Hellblade 2 gets released, that'll be on both the console and PC, like the exact same time. You can buy, and sometimes it's cross-buy, because if you pick it up on one, you get it on the other, which is fantastic. This is not a knock against Microsoft, trust me. This is fantastic. I love this. This means I don't have to buy one of their consoles. I can just play it on a PC if I want to. I'm not tied. Their exclusives aren't tied to just their console. It can also be tied to a computer. Sony's a little bit harder on that. They're when they want to tie a game to a console, they want to sell consoles because of it. Right. And so their PC releases will be few and far between, or wait a year after or something like that. God knows. I have no idea. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know. The price thing is up in the air, so we'll see. Somebody's got to pull the trigger first as far as revealing what their price is going to be, and then somebody else has to come after that and either beat it or match it. They cannot be more expensive. Sony knows this, Microsoft knows this, but somebody's got to tell us what their price point's going to be.
Tell you what, I'd pay $600 for a Half-Life Alyx VR package with PS5.
But you would buy it for one game?
Well, I'd buy it at launch for that.
No, I still wouldn't.
You still wouldn't?
No, I still wouldn't.
That would be a good package.
I've got VR at the house anyway.
Oh, I don't have it. I don't have any VR. I'll get into it, at some kind of package like that where I can then buy like the Rick and Morty games and.
I've got far too much VR at the house. Actually, Did
you play that Rick and Morty on VR?
I did at PAX.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, I did at PAX. I did not at home. I have the game, but my setup at home is not real good for VR. I've got the PlayStation VR, and then I've got a PC. I've got two PC VRs because I was a early adopter of this crap. Again, this is me saying, like, why did I buy it at launch? Because it's much cheaper now, and you get more with it. And you get a better system out of it, too. They've refined this stuff so much better than what it was at launch. Like, I've got an Oculus and I've got a Vive. And they have refined the thing so much since the launch of the systems themselves. So
I think that's the other thing that impressed me about the VR at PAX East was even the PlayStation VR, it was a lower resolution than both the HTC one.
But still good.
Yeah, it was. That's like the bare minimum you need to have kind of an experience. But it was. You're right. It was still good.
But it's enough to give you that experience.
I couldn't even imagine what you're playing with the higher resolution.
It ain't bad. It's pretty good. But my problem is I'm in a very, very small space, and so I got to work on that. I got a room I want to convert into kind of a VR room, but it's going to take some work to move everything into that room.
Get a 360 treadmill.
Oh no! I wouldn't. No. That'd be cool. But no, it's just I got to rewire a lot of things to get the internet over to that side of the house compared to where it's at right now. So there's going to be some real work involved once I get around to ever doing this. So hey, we got to take a break here. Do you want to hang on? You need to go?
Oh, I got to go. Got to give bath time and then bedtime for the little one.
That's right. You're an hour ahead. All right, buddy. Take care. It's so good to hear from you again.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hopefully we'll hear from you next week. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you later.
You too, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care now.
All right. So did not expect us to talk that long, but this is great. Hey,
it's been a minute since you called, so hey.
It has. No, this is good because we haven't even dipped into the news, and this just saves me stuff to talk about next week. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be back in just a moment. We've got music here from a game that's been getting a lot of, I say a lot of press, but I've been seeing a lot of people playing it too. It is called Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. It is the main theme for that game, and we'll be right back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat.
Sounds like a stealth game.
It is.
I keep thinking of Metal Gear for some reason.
It's actually Predator.
Oh, Predator. Well, Hunting Grounds?
Hunting Grounds, yeah.
Predator Hunting Grounds, yeah.
It's the main theme here. And I like that they incorporated some of the main theme from the movie, the film. Mm-hmm. and not recent films like
Schwarzenegger
in the 1 and 2, basically.
Yeah.
I think it was Alan Silvestri who did the score. I think that's Alan Silvestri, yeah. Same guy that did the Back to the Future films.
Yeah, Alan Silvestri, the original motion picture score.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, that's who I thought it was. So, welcome back to the show. We got about 15 minutes, and we haven't even hit a single thing of news, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
More for us to talk about next week.
Yeah, exactly. More for me to run my mouth on next week to talk about stuff. But we haven't even talked about what we played though. So let's start with you. What'd you play over the past 2 weeks?
Well, still
Destiny. I know
mostly Destiny. Trying to. Thing is, I'm trying to figure out why though. I mean, it's like I guess
figuring out why you're playing.
Why am I playing this game? I've got so many other games I could be playing.
I've been down that road of thought.
It's like I guess at this point, Destiny has become that turn your brain off and just play. I guess if it moves, shoot it.
It can be, but man, in a way, I'm glad that they've given me what they've given me, which is absolutely nothing. Or at least it's something, but I can do it in no time and get it done.
Yeah,
I don't have to grind anymore with it, and I really like that. That's what I've got. For 2 seasons now, I've been chasing whatever it is that they've got to chase, and it's really ate into my time, and I'm kind of glad that I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
There's still stuff for me to do, and I do it, but it's not something that it's like I got to do this every single week. I got to do this every single week. I'm no longer chasing a level cap. It's there, and it's come to me because I played, but because I have finally hit 1,000. But I'm not chasing it down. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to reach that power cap of like 1,010. I think is what it is.
1,010.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's there, and that's fun, and sure, it's there if I want to try and make it, and I could do that and hit those pinnacle events all the time. I'm not
into it. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
Not a thing.
Yeah, but that was what I was playing for the most part. But other little things here and there. I'm still doing a little bit with MLB 20, the show. I'll still try to play, get a little bit of that done.
I should play some of that, really, just to get some baseball in my life.
Yeah. I'm setting up season, road to the show, things like that. Basically, no, just season really. Playing, getting those cards and building up a team and playing online with that. I'm still trying to do that. A little bit of Street Fighter 5. I still need to get back on the grind on that. I'm still in silver. I need to get up to at least try to get up to gold and try to get up a level or two there. But it's difficult going back and forth. Sometimes I got to gold, but now I'm going back to silver, up and down, up and down. Just get a little level of consistency. Because if anything in that game, I'm consistently inconsistent. It's just win 2, lose win 2, lose 1, lose 3, win 3 in a row. Just all up and down. Try to get consistency in that game. Hard to do, but possible. I just got to keep grinding in that one. I looked at a bit with Samurai Showdown. The season pass for the second season's finally come out, so I got a few characters to pick up in that. Outside of that, a little bit of a 3-on-3 street basketball.
Yeah,
they do updates in that constantly. I don't get to play it too much, but every now and then I'll load it up and start and see what I can do in there. And outside of that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, for me, I did put in some time with Destiny 2, but not very much. I've talked about this. Took a look at what was on offer on the Xbox Game Pass, which was a ton. And so I downloaded my friend Pedro, which is there. It's still... Now, I played it at PAX whatever year. And I enjoyed it. I liked what it was doing, but I felt like the controls could be tweaked a little bit. I didn't like...
Is that the twin stick?
It's a twin stick, yes.
Twin stick, yeah.
It's a twin stick shooter type thing, but man, it's just... I don't know.
2D or 3D? Or 2.5D?
Maybe 2.5D, really, yeah. But I feel like there's probably... Well, here's what I feel like. I feel like they probably tested it enough and was like, this is the best we can do on controls. but it's weird because when you play it, it feels like there's got to be something better here to do this.
So it feels a little off to you.
It really does. Yeah. I mean, it's good. Okay, it's the problem. Honestly, the problem is that you've got to. It's hard to make it stylistic because one stick points your arms and the other stick moves your body, and half the time my body's going to be facing in one direction and my arms are just going to be behind me without me even looking, firing away. Because I can't, because it's just my brain, you know. It's like trying to play drums, right? You're doing one thing with one hand, another thing with another hand. You gotta, and then your feet are doing something completely different, and everything's got to be offset. It can't be timed, you know. They're not timed together, and so it's very awkward feeling when you want to do this really cool jump thing, but you want to fire at this one guy, and then if there's two. I think you hold the trigger down, and that'll lock one of your guns on one guy, and then you can move the stick back over so that the other hand will focus on the other guy.
So you can lock your arms in place and keep shooting.
You can lock one arm in place. Doesn't matter which one. It's just whichever one. Like if you
Okay, I should say arm. I'll lock a direction.
Yeah. Okay. Put it that way.
I want you to lock your arm in to the bottom right of the screen.
Because you're always going, you always got the two guns. You're always dual wielding.
Okay, yeah.
Dual wielding two guns. And so when the enemies are just in one direction, that's fine. You just point in that direction, you're firing both weapons.
Right.
But say a guy pops out of a door behind you while you've got other guys coming to you from the front, then you need to hold down the right trigger. That locks that direction with one of your guns, and then you switch the stick over, and then he pulls around and shoots with the other gun. But at the same time, you're also trying to move through this, and so I don't know.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking with dual wielding, usually in games like that, both guns are involved, but having to lock one gun, but still having the free
because you're going to have
a lot. Yeah,
you're going to have enemies in both directions. So yeah, it's it's got some. I don't know. I still have issues with the controls. I still had fun playing it, but I still had issues with the controls. So that was one that I played. What was another one that I've heard? I played a little bit of the Batman Telltale game.
Okay, yeah.
That was, and I mean by a little bit, I played to the title sequence, which is very intro-y. Gives you a chance to play as Batman, and then gives you a chance to play as Bruce Wayne and have some conversations and stuff. So I played that. That was okay. It was weird because it was kind of stuttery, so I was wondering if I was playing, I don't know if that was a loading thing or if it was pulling from online or what the situation was. It was kind of strange on how that was being played. I didn't have a problem with it, but I tell you, jumping back into Telltale games, that was not, I was like, oh, God, I don't want to do this. I put so much time into the Walking Dead series and Wolf Among Us and Back to the Future and God knows what else. I put in so much time with those original Telltale games that even in the world of Batman, I was just like, I don't want to do this again. This is not, no, this is cool, but
point and click story time.
I know, but I just don't feel like I want to do this.
I think the one idea was Wolf Among Us. It was good. It was enjoyable.
I loved Wolf Among Us, and I'm hoping that I'll be there again whenever they release the sequel, and I can get back to that. That was one of the ones I always wished had a sequel, and so I'm glad it was getting one. But what else did I play? Felix the Reaper, which, by the way, is the next music that we've got coming up. Felix the Reaper is interesting. You apparently play as a instrument of death. In other words, if death was a corporation, you work for death, and you have to go out and make sure that things happen the way they're supposed to happen, so that this thing dies, whether it be an animal or a person or whatever. And you're supposed to correct the timeline so that makes that happen. And it's all puzzle based.
Okay.
It's a grid-based system, and you can move on that grid, but only in the shadows. You can't step into the light, and you can change the direction of the sun. only in two directions. It can only go from. I don't know what determines it, but that's it. You have it from one angle, and then you can have it from another angle, and that changes the shadows on the board for you to move.
So between sunrise and sunset.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's just the sun may be coming in from the right, and then you press a button, and it moves over to the left, and it changes the way the shadows move. Doesn't matter if it's sun. It doesn't. There's no indication that is sunrise or sunset. It's just moving the sun. It's changing the map.
Yeah.
And you can only move on the shadowed areas. And it was strange because it looks like a little indie game, and I think it is. But then you get Patrick Stewart narrating the entire thing. I thought, well, okay, that's a good get. But whatever, it's a narrator. That's not going to improve my gameplay. That's not going to make the gameplay worth it. That's not going to change anything. You have him as a narrator. Okay, good. Flex. That's a good flex on you that you got him as a narrator. What does that mean? If your game's crap, it doesn't matter who you got as a narrator. James Earl Jones could be your narrator, and it's not going to matter if your game is crap. This game doesn't feel like crap, but I haven't really played a lot of it to know if it is or not. That is the gist of it, is the whole movement thing and the puzzle thing. You've got to move things around. There is no stealth involved. I don't even think you get... Even if you position the sun where Felix is in the light, it just moves the sun back so he's not, You've got to find out where you need to be so that when the sun moves, you're still in the dark. So they always kind of overlap, interlace, so you can get around and move things and change things. It feels a little boring in that regard. Because that's it that I know of. I haven't gotten further. So maybe further in there's some power-ups or there's some new mechanics that introduce themselves, but I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a game that I've played with the grid. I'm thinking it's a grid system. Invisible Ink. Is it something similar to that? I can only move certain spots on the board, try to get in and out of this building, things like that.
Yeah, I like Invisible Ink. Yes, but I mean, this is literally a grid. Like, the grid is... I mean, it is there. These are individual squares that you move on.
Okay.
And you're not limited by your moves. It's not like, you can only take 5 moves and then they have to play out. It's not any kind of strategy or anything like that. It is just, here's the board. You can move in the shadows. Make sure that this gets over here, and then that's all you got to do. Make sure this thing moves here. And sometimes you're going to have objects in your way, and you're going to have, there's things for you to change in order for you to make that happen, but that's it. Take this thing that's here, move it over here. That's it. That's all you got to do. So, I don't know. I should play more of it to make sure, but that's unlikely to happen. So, especially since WrestleMania is on tonight. Listen, that's going to be it for us. We got to call it quits here. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. I want to thank RJ for coming in tonight. We're going to have another show next week. It's just going to be me. So far as I know, but feel free to call in, talk to us, talk to me, but we'll see how this is gonna all play out. We're not going anywhere. Look, even if we decide to run replays for a while, we'll be back. We're not gonna be done with this thing, so just stick with us, and we appreciate it. And like I said, I've always said that if you're there to listen, we're going to be here to keep doing this. So even if it is just me because everybody else has to stay home, going to be here to keep doing this. So thank you so much. You guys have a great week. Stay safe. Please don't forget that our website's kind of having some issues. We're going to get that back up as soon as we can. But stay safe. Have fun. Play games. Take care of yourself and others. And, be nice. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. But we'll get through this. Y'all have a great one. Music here from Felix the Reaper. It is called Dance Macabre or Macabre. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back next week. RJ, thanks again.
You're welcome.
All right. See you next Saturday.